What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Team Swadra in the house. As you can see, we've got some lovely friends with us. So today's video, actually, whoopsie, before I get into it, I want everyone to introduce themselves. Start off with my lovely friend here.
Well, hi, my name is Yana, and I go by the name of Yana Leah Rose.
Yeah.
I'm also the founder of Pray For Her, which is a channel that encourages young ladies, to pray and read their word and, just all of that stuff. I'm 26 and I'm a woman of God. Amen. Thanks.
My name's Lewis, I'm a chef, I'm 28, vegan, of course, and I've got my own business, Bad Boy Vegan Kitchen. Obviously, follow us on Instagram and that. Yeah, done more.
So guys, he's been really modest and really humble, but check out his stuff on Instagram, it's amazing. You know who I am already, EJ, proud dad, Nova, proud husband to Swade, content creator, man of God, public speaker, entrepreneur, get to know, fashionista. On a day-to-day, I sell drugs legally.
Hi everyone, I'm Sherelle. So I'm an accountant, a finance analyst, currently on maternity leave. Also modelling kind of has come to a pause, hold since the bump came, but I might get back into it after. New wife, new mother, and just living life.
Yeah. And obviously, guys, the queen to the king. But yeah, obviously it's me, Swade, back again. We're going to be discussing an amazing and fun topic as we do, guys. So enjoy the video.
So this topic, guys, is how soon is too soon to propose, to get engaged?
I'm going to kick it off, right? You meet a girl. Okay, I'm so sexist. I always make it you meet You meet somebody, yeah? You're with them, you've started dating, maybe 6 months. Is that okay? So when do you think it will be the right time? When do you want to propose to me, or do you want to marry me, or when do you want to marry me, or are you looking to get married? The whole marriage talk comes into play. How soon is too soon?
6 months, did you say? I think that's already too soon.
I think that's too soon.
Oh, wait.
6 months, you're talking about marriage and whether you want to marry or when we're going to get married.
No, you
6
have to
months.
kind of talk about that, yeah.
But
In
that's
6
what I'm
months.
doing. I was gonna ask is that, but when you meet someone, imagine if you've waited 6 months, you speak to someone, and that person don't even have any thought of even getting married.
Or if they don't believe in marriage.
Yeah, like imagine that.
Do you
A
know what?
year, maybe, like, start talking about
Maybe
it.
A whole year of my life.
No.
I should waste it, and then she told me no.
Oh, so it's wasted. So basically, let me not talk personal. 6 months you started talking about marriage.
No, but
Okay,
you know what it is? Let's bring it into Team Sword 12, but what I would say is this. I've always believed in marriage, yeah? I've always been Christian. When EJ met me, I had been baptized, but I was just a backslider. But he always believed in God. He wasn't necessarily practicing, but he was brought up in a Christian household, so was I, yeah? I always believed in marriage. When I met him, I remember EJ and I met in October. We started going out in February, so that's what, like 3-4 months, yeah? And even times were a lot different, guys. And in that time, we didn't really speak we met in October, we didn't really speak until about, it was New Year's Day.
It was New Year's Day.
Remember, when we at that rave and you tried to,
Obviously.
No, not with me. He wasn't trying to. He was obviously does. I was like, it's fine because my ex was there and all these other people were there, and I was running and he was running, but I was fucking.
We were both running.
We were both running. We were literally playing the same game. Which was fine. And then we saw each other later at Baby King after the rain Baby King, and that was when we literally was like, okay, nah, like he's hot, I'm hot, like let's talk. Like that's when we started talking. We spoke intensely, and then after about 6 weeks, he was like, no, I want us to just me and you, Tim. When we had
That was the exact words. I was trying to be smart. I was just saying, I was my girlfriend, but saying I want to take my girlfriend. I'm just like,
I said it like that.
come on,
PPM meeting. That's what he said. Obviously, times have changed.
Yeah.
Don't let a boy come and tell you that now. But yeah, like in that time when we would have spoken intensely on the phone, it would be like, yeah. So what you think about marriage? But it's not like I say to you, marry me, or I want
Subtle,
that.
subtle.
I just want to know your ideas because if he was like, nah, I don't believe in marriage, I probably would have been like, okay. So when we end that conversation, I probably wouldn't have aired your calls because I know ultimately I would like to get married. So therefore, we're not compatible. If you don't believe in what I think eventually is what I want to do. So I'm not saying I was like to him after 4 months, like, yeah, you can marry me, but I kind of knew he believed in marriage.
So what do you guys think?
I think it should definitely come into conversation, exactly like what they're saying. If after 6 months, it should have at least been mentioned, because especially as Christians, if you're together for 6 months and the end result is, or the aim is not marriage, then what are you there for?
What about if you're not Christian?
Yeah, that's.
And what does marriage mean to you? Do you understand?
Okay, no. Alright. First things first, what does marriage mean to you?
It's a legal binding contract. Yeah. That basically gives each of you some sort of like authority over possession or whatnot. That's what it is.
Okay.
So you think
It's illegal. It's yeah. Well, in the church, it is legal. You have to legally be connected to say that's my wife and that's my husband. But if you love each other, you don't need a paper to say that.
Because you married on paper.
Yeah. Well, that's what it represents. It represents that basically you two love each other. So without that, we don't know that you.
So do we marry everyone we love?
No, that's not what we're saying here, though.
Well, that's what you just said.
No, what I'm saying is that basically marriage to me, how I understand it, is a paper that represents your devoutness for each other. You understand?
So would you get married? Do you want to get married?
Yeah, of course. If I have the time
So
to
you
do
want-
so.
You want just
If I have the time to do so.
Because I personally believe, I personally believe that to get married, you need to be at a certain stage in life. Well, it's just me. Some people
No, I
like to be at a certain stage, even to have kids. I want to reach a certain level of life, so I know that when I bring them in there, and when I have my wife, I can handle every one of them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I don't want to rely, even though it's a partnership, I don't want to rely on.
Are you talking about more financially?
Financially, also things in place so that like our kid could go to the right schools, you know, like he's around the right people. Do you understand? I like to set these things up beforehand because I don't think our parents or whatnot have failed, but I feel like if these things were put into place, then I guarantee you that we'll be somewhere else. You understand? But that's what I think it is. So I'm not really about just beating the girl and then marrying her. You get me? Obviously, so man, what's sprung in that?
I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about someone else.
It's worth it.
My views on how soon you should get engaged, yeah?
How soon is too soon?
How soon is too soon, yeah? So for me, I think growing up and stuff, left my mum's house really early, became very independent, you know, like I became very independent. So when Josiah come along, I was like, no.
That's the fiance.
That's my fiance. I was like, no, I don't want to be distracted because I'm focused, you know. So it was like, I'm focused now. If someone else comes along, now I have to give you my time, but my time is full. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't really want to share that anymore. Like, but obviously with time, it was like a lot of time and insistence on his part. It was like somehow, I don't know, like my eyes were open and I was like, okay, this actually might be my soulmate.
Can I ask you this? Did you enjoy the pursuits from Josiah?
He done a good job.
We like
He
it.
changed his vocabulary, he called me miss. He done all of these amazing things. And that stuff, you know, for me, I love that stuff. I love that. Call me miss, sometimes I could be, you know, like call you sir. Like,
Oh, yeah?
nice. You know, it's nice. I'm a, you know, and he kind of, he came to where I was. And so,
Wow.
but yeah, so obviously, so because of that, he kind of like sweetened me, softened me, but at the same time it was like, what, so now I need to, you know, like it was, things changed. So it was like, okay, now he wants me to rely on him for money and stuff, but I've got my own money. So it was quite hard for me to be like, you know, how can I, like, it was really hard. We had to go to pastor. It was like, you know, he would say, pastor, you know, she doesn't want to take my money. But it was just because I was so independent that it was like, how could this happen? So when it came to things like engagement, I would think, yeah, we had that conversation of, oh, do you want to get married? Because I did want to get married. I do want to get married, of course. He wants to get married. But it's like, how are we going to transition into that? Because how am I going to get out of this headspace? Yeah. How am I going to get out of this? How can I trust you? I've been heartbroken before. How can I trust that if we get engaged, you're not going to try and just say, oh, I don't want to do this no more. How do I trust that? And because of that, I think it took me a long time to get to that point where I trusted God first and then was like, okay, I trust you now. You know, I trust you because I trust God, and I know that if you're going to come into my life, God won't allow you to break my heart because He knows I've been so committed, like, to Him that if He brings someone to my life, then it's going to be forever. And that was it. So once that happened, it was like, okay, I trust you. And then obviously the whole engagement came along, and I was very happy because it's like, whoa, this is going to happen now. Like, we're going to get married, and we are going to get married.
Before you got engaged?
Obviously, because of certain circumstances, like, you know, that happened and stuff, like, it did take longer than it should have.
So when you say should have,
yeah.
How long
okay.
do you have?
I would have probably been ready a year after I took him serious. Yeah. No, but how long?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So a year after I took him serious, but that was just because I had major trust issues. You know, like that's because I
sorry to hold on to you say, but that's what in the video we've done previous. I said until you can first love yourself,
that's it.
You can't love no one else. It can't work.
No, it's the truth. Yes, but you know, if you know, you have to get to a point where you love and respect yourself first, and then you allow someone. Because I was paranoid. You gotta move all of that stuff out of the way before you can let somebody in your life. I was insecure. I didn't like my body. It was like, how can you? Are you being? Bare times I would say to him over the phone, like, do you really want this? Like, are you being serious? Are you kidding me? Or are you gonna just say, oh, I'm joking? I swear to you, every time I'd be like, are you joking or something? Like, why do you want to be with me? And you keep saying to me, like, why do you keep asking me that? But it was because I was so insecure in myself. It's like, I couldn't believe someone actually wanted to take me to the altar. Yeah, like,
God knew what He was doing. He was not giving you engagement in the time you thought it should have been.
Because I had it in my mind, like, when I took it seriously, I was like, okay, we went to Pastor. I said, Pastor, at the end of this year, like Christmas, we're going to get married. And then obviously because yes, I was being serious. You know, like I went from 0 to 100 really quick. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, by the end of this year, Pastor, yeah, we can get married. Pastor, we can do it. And she'd be like, just wait, you know. And I'm like, oh, you know, and she'll be like, no, just wait. And then obviously circumstances happened, and it was like, I needed to wait, you know, because imagine if we had got married and then, you know, it would have just been like
chaos.
Crazy, you know. So everything happens in its time. You work on you first, and then you'll be able to measure the time of when you can get engaged and allow someone to come and show. But you need to work on your heart, your body.
Do you think a year from meeting someone is too soon then?
Where are you in your life? You know what I mean? It all depends on where you
preach.
It all depends on where you are. If you are in that secure place, if you're in that place where you're sure of yourself and it's like that person's going to compliment you and not make you whole, then you'll be fine. You know what I mean? You could say next week let's get engaged, next 2 weeks let's get engaged. It depends where you are. Do you know what I mean? If you feel like you know that person enough, but you can't make someone come into your life and make you complete. That's not what it's about. You need to make sure you're whole first, you know, and then that person compliments you. You're like a good up. You know? You gotta be carried well, you know? Like, you got one good swag, you know? Like,
one thing that I see in terms of engagement, I honestly could look at something and be like, oh, 6 months is too soon, you just met that person, but who am I to say it's too soon to see God move? Do you know what I mean? I feel like God works with marriage, and as marriage is a ministry, and he works with the way he precedes it differently for everybody. I feel like some people are sure of who they are in Christ and who they are in themselves, and are maybe more mature in age or in experience, and some of us aren't so much. So as I was saying prior to us pressing record, if someone's a little bit more mature, a little bit more seasoned, maybe has got his feet or her feet wet before, and has an idea more of what I want, what I'm not going to tolerate, what I do, I'm going to tolerate how I'm going to get it. When they meet someone, they might be like, no, this is the person that is for me. And 6 months later, they might propose, and
That's it.
it might work. And one thing I'm going to ask all of you guys that are viewing, if you have been engaged for maybe a year, or if you were engaged after maybe a year or less than that, comment down below how long you've been married, if you are married yet, how you're finding it, and all of that stuff. Let's get a little conversation going in the comments, because I don't want to be that person that I'm not gonna lie though, all the little the short-term engagements that I've met, the ones that I've got married, they've broken apart, which is a shame. And I feel like is that because of what I was saying earlier about people bowing out of marriage is easy. People don't even break up from marriages because of what the Bible says anymore. It's kind of like, I'll be your best friend. Oh no, she getting on my nerves.
It's like a time now. You got a time.
Yeah. No, I agree with you guys in that you have to find out who you are first and love yourself. But still, it takes a long time to get to know somebody. And I can know and love myself 100%, but I still don't think 3 months, 6 months is enough to fully know someone inside out. Like me and Bella started dating, that's my husband now, but we started dating when we were very young. And okay, fine, if someone asked us after a year, is this the person that you want to marry? I would have said yes, 100%. After 2 years, I would have said no. What we had experienced between year 1 and year 2 was so different that I could have said yes, and yes, we could have got married, and then it wouldn't have worked out. Between year 1 and year 2, it was crazy, and the trials and tribulations that we went through, and all of that made us stronger. And because we went through all of that, we are now married, and we are now, like, there's almost nothing can break us. Nothing can touch us.
You better.
If you haven't been through those trials and tribulations, how is your relationship at that strength to then be able to get through everything else? I don't know.
Sorry, I need to add on to that. So just come on. You know what it is? So it comes to the testimony thing. What test have you withstood?
That's right.
Standard.
That's
If
right.
you haven't gone through that test or gone through the fire, do you really know what your relationship is made out of?
Right.
And sometimes when you look at what diamonds, how are diamonds formed? By pressure. So you have to go through that pressure. Come on, man. That's it. Remember that diamonds, you know. So all of you that wanted this easy lifestyle, or you think this is goals. You don't know what your so-called relationship goals have been through. You don't know the struggles, the issues. Like obviously those that know me saw their story. There was days when I was, only into me. It was mad. One day I should go Aki-san. Sometimes chicken and girls. You gotta start off somewhere to get somewhere else. So.
No, one thing I will say, you see when you know someone for a short period of time, as Yana kind of started off, well, you didn't start off, you kind of mentioned, and so did Sherelle, that you see with time in a relationship, you go through stuff, and that's how you learn and get stronger, and you fall in love with yourself, you know your flaws, you know your good points, your high points, all that stuff. But I think like when you go into a marriage quickly or engaged in a short period of time, planning your marriage, say after 6 months to a year, that means that you're now going to be married and then be learning someone, which means you're going to have to be learning the role of a wife, adapting to that role, and positioning yourself in your household as a wife and your life as a wife, and then still be going through hurdles. That's a lot, you know, because one thing people, I don't know why, it's like in social media, in life, people get some disorientation when it comes to marriage. They just think every day is love and roses. Like, no. And even love does not suffice sometimes. Like, it's the friendship that will keep you through. Like, when love is gone that day, like, you need something more. And when I say more, I'm not saying friendship is bigger than love. What I'm saying is that because love is such a great and big thing, sometimes we take it for granted, and that day we feel like, oh, I don't even love you right now. You need like a laugh is what is going to make it be like, okay, no, wait there, let's go back to the drawing board. I do love this person. Like, people get overwhelmed, even in marriages. Like, some days EJ probably looks at me and thinks that what the hell, like your face is getting on my nerves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he does. Like, some days I see how he looks at me like you're in my like. But the thing is, before EJ's married as my husband, he's EJ a person. Like, people are irritable. People like their own space. People don't like too much of anything. Like, just how life works. So imagine being someone like too much of anything's annoying. Like, there's times when EJ's in the sitter and I'm locked in my room, not because he's done me anything, you know, but I need a break. Like, do you get what I mean? And that's fine, but I just feel like everyone needs to get their heads out of the clouds. Like, if you are dating somebody and maybe you haven't been dating them for long and you're maybe pressurizing the person or speaking about engagement and marriage, take your time. Because no matter what, whether you're married today, tomorrow or next year, you want your marriage to be till the end of time. And I think that's more important. It's more important at working at something that will carry you through to the end of time than doing something now that's going to end in 5 years. Do you get what I mean? That's not the end goal. What do you think, Lewis?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I show
I do agree.
You actually agree with me?
Yeah, you obviously said that basically you're gonna have to learn someone, but that kind of like deviates from when you ask when to get engaged or something. I'll talk about engagement.
Once you've learned someone, which takes a long time.
So then it's 6 months from what you said.
I think it's too soon.
It's too soon. Alright, so we'll establish that it's too soon.
I mean, I do take in consideration people's maturity and experiences. And that's what I'm trying to say. Some people might be well seasoned, which I did say before, like gone through things in life. Some people might already know who they are and love themselves. And if that's the case, you meet someone else like that, then maybe you are going to be.
So how can you put a time on it then? So what is it, what you said, when it's too soon? So what is roughly...
It's not the same amount of time for each couple though. It will
different. It took EJ 7 years to propose to me, and I feel like when I look at it in hindsight, that was not a long time. And to someone else, they'll be like, what? But we started going out when we were 19. I met him when we were both, well, I was 19, he was 18 going on 19. We started going out when we were 19, and the first 4 years of our relationship was a shambles. And I would have, the thing is, if I even tried to get him to engage me within six months to a year or 2 years, what? There would be no sort of today. We would have had nothing to offer each other. Do you know what I mean? It would have been extremely premature. It would have been extremely premature. It would have been literally love built on sand. We would literally be sinking. Yeah, literally. So I just personally think like what you just said, like too soon is too soon, and it is different to everyone, but I think at least 2 years.
Alright guys, round up, I just want to throw a little spanner in the works. So, you know, see it on the flip side. I'm a guy, I'm a lady, say late 30s. You know, I'm worrying about maybe, you know, it's going to be a bit harder for me to get pregnant. So, you know, I'm like, do I wait for the next available guy? Or the next guy shows a bit purpose or interest or going somewhere in life. I'm like, yeah, sounds good for 6 months. Do I then apply pressure onto him to get married to me? Or, I don't know if this should be another video, do I propose to him?
This has to be another video because DJ knows that. It's just what he does.
Why not?
It makes my heart itch.
Why not?
That's a different subject.
Alright guys, that's a really another video.
That is
mentality.
Alright, another video, that's another video.
That's another
No, but sweet in you, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? He's gonna be that. He wants that one.
Yes, but you prove for that one.
Wow, 10.
That's an intense one.
That's a very intense.
I saw something, so, but I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I saw something on Instagram when we were proposing to the next guy, yeah? And it was good, like, the reaction of people.
Please, let's save that one for the video. Let's save that one for the video.
And it was good.
Anyway,
but back to what I was saying. So, what are your thoughts on that? So, ladies getting a bit older.
What are you asking me now?
I'm asking you. Open discussion.
if you're getting a bit older, trust God.
Yes.
There's women that are 40, 45, and I'm not saying it may not be ideal in your world, but I just think God's plan is way bigger and better than ours. Ours is too temporary and it fails too much, and I'm tired of failing.
I mean, the reality is that some women don't believe in God, you know? And for those who don't believe in God, it's like who are you trusting then to bring your man? So if a man does come along and they are good to you, then they're just definitely gonna do it. And you can't really, there's no advice to really give them because it's like you want a child. There's desperation there. You see, once there's desperation, we know that obviously the enemy will bring a counteract. So that that person will just come. Oh, you will glitter, you look good, oh, you look good, look at your eyelashes, you know, and it'll be nice, and then she'll be like, oh yeah, I do want a baby, and then next thing you know, they just forget about marriage, they just had a baby, do you know what I mean, and then they don't even care how the man treats them, they just want to keep,
not in the ruder, but even see with the younger ones.
Sometimes they even
the guy comes glistening, one nice rose gold tooth and that, you know what I mean?
It's true.
It's sad though.
For desperation, you do anything, man.
Yeah,
Desperation.
that's why the word is desperation.
That's why it's
The
desperation.
desperate feed.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you want out of it. Do you want just a baby or do you want a relationship? If you want a long-term relationship,
Yeah, do you want a relationship?
are you then rushing into it
What
to
do you
have a
say?
baby and potentially not have a
Does
relationship?
she want a relationship or does she just want the
But you know
baby?
what, sometimes maybe,
Some do
maybe
get to the point where they just want a child.
that's
Yeah.
it. Maybe the rationale was baby first,
That's it.
in hope that the partner will stay by the love of the baby.
So maybe you're having a baby to keep the man, you know, like.
But
Many
the
man
pressures that having a baby
Many
because
man
of your
said
relationship
it.
is
It
not.
doesn't hold a man down.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, see?
Alexis.
It doesn't.
Oh, Alexis.
Having a child, I think, if anything, adds an extra
Definitely.
pressure on your
Yeah.
relationship. And if it's not already strong, having a baby is not gonna
gonna
seal
go
cracks.
No.
Yeah.
It's gonna tip.
It's maybe gonna make you happy. You'll still be desperate for other things now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you find
that cycle of
something
desperation will go on. Okay, now I've got the baby, now I want the man. Okay, now I have the man, now I want the car. Or now I want the car, I want the house. And that desperation
Yeah,
will
but
go on.
isn't that what happens though, isn't it? Like obviously when you have like your marriage or let's say you see a girl and that's what you wanna, do you know what I mean? That's who you wanna like commit to or vice versa. You're thinking, you're already premeditating your life together, how you're gonna build it up, a house, children, car, job, business, you know, grandchildren. You're already doing it. So you never stop wanting for things, do you? So I don't think it's desperation, but do you understand?
But I think
Aspiration.
in what EJ said, that is sort of a form of desperation. You're getting older. You know, well, that's what his
Yeah.
scenario was, that you're getting
And
older.
yes, I'm saying she was like late 30s, getting approaching 40s.
Yeah,
And she
but-
perhaps achieved what she wanted to achieve by having a baby or having a man.
So, okay, but do you think like well, obviously you're in a man, so you have to have children before marriage, right? Because then you know you can still have children without marriage.
Of course. It depends on your beliefs or your standpoint.
Yeah, if you put beliefs aside, because not everyone has.
No, of course. I don't think to say that everyone.
If you put just normal on a painful, yeah. Just sorry, not normal.
No, it's cool.
No, we're not arguing
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
Let's just
Say a common ground of this week.
free for all, yeah? Alright, cool. If you're at that age, yeah, if you're growing even by yourself without a partner, if you're growing by yourself without a partner, you're still gonna set out your pinnacles in your life, you understand?
Yeah.
Even if you're single, you're still gonna say by 30 I wanna have a child. You might not even be seeing anyone at that stage.
Yeah.
But because of your mindset, because
You
of
set that
I believe the law of attraction, you're actually gonna the universe and stuff is gonna work towards that goal.
So
You
what
might
you
end
call
up
the
being
universe, we call declaration.
okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. We still talk about the same energy, but basically,
We are not.
Anyway, these are the things that you draw to your path, isn't it? So, I think you have to set yourself, and what will happen is you're going to be in line with someone who's also got similar goals and like on the same frequency and vibration. Someone might want to get children at 30 as well, and you end up connecting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that's like saying you don't believe in the law of attraction and stuff like that. I know people like to say that, but these things do exist.
So in a nutshell, you're saying
That
that the tongue has the power to speak life and death. It's the
I
word
think
of God.
yeah,
Amen.
yeah.
Won't Jesus do it? He's one again.
So I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's always about how you understand things in life. I don't
No, I
mind
know what you're
if
saying,
if your blue and my blue are the same, but we have different languages. I don't mind that. As long as we're calling for the
No, I know what you're
same
saying,
things to
though.
come into our life and manifest and stuff like that. You
But
understand?
basically, what you're saying is the
But
woman.
why we're saying that,
Yeah.
it's just to appeal to other people who cannot like resonate with Jesus or God. You
No,
understand?
that's not all our
How do they
Yeah.
govern their
Christ,
life?
fair.
No, I agree with what you're saying actually.
Yeah, so your life, I think, personally, would actually find itself amongst people who are
Looking for the same thing.
Vibrating towards your
So, but you know, guys, so I feel like we kind of, you know, got to the answer in this video, got to the conclusion. So what I want all of you to do is go around and give maybe one of your golden nuggets or take-home messages. Starting off with Miss Jones.
I think the golden nugget for everyone is just don't rush the process, take time, find you, love you, and then let it all flow, let it be natural.
Mine is get to know each other. Again, take your time, there's no rush, love each other. Feel like you know each other as much as possible, inside and out, and then let God do the rest. Or the vibrations do the rest.
I respect that. What I would say is, you learn new and new things about your partner every day. Especially you want to know everything about them, you're going to learn different things, you're going to develop different habits. But what I will say is, embrace those different habits and just learn to love them the best you can.
Mine will be, obviously, you have to get yourself in line with what it is you want to achieve in life and how you picture yourself in the future, successfully, happy, and everything will take place if you continue to focus on that. Your energy on that. Vibration.
I would definitely say make sure that you are in a place of wholeness in Christ, or just make sure you're in a place of wholeness so that when that person comes along, they are not completing you, but they are just a complement to you, but they're not completing you, guys. Remember, not completing you. So if they disappear, you're fine because you're still standing strong, but let them compliment you, okay? Good handbag, a good Louis Vuitton shoes, compliment, you know, they look good.
Even a Nike trainer.
Even a Nike trainer, it doesn't matter where it's from, but compliment, not make you whole.
Guys, I love that video. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Get the conversation down below, and yeah, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Woo, woo, woo. But I'll get to wife number 4 though.
1 more minute.
Is you a freshman?
Oh yeah, true.
You have to pattern them.
The partner didn't say that he's willing to explore as well.
Explore?
Yeah.
What?
He'll say that he's willing to
Explore.
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 So what did you vibrate to each other?
This is how the universe is built. It's built on sound. So that's scientifically it